Very good afternoon, home choir. Welcome to our session today. Now, you'll find the score for Dido and Aeneas in the description. It is a long score because it's a full opera. It's not a massive opera. It's only 3 short acts. It takes about 45 minutes to an hour to produce. You want pages 34 and 35. And huge thanks to Jenny for pointing out that it was pages 34 and 35 and bars 114 and 115. Apologies if you printed the wrong page. And I hope you've been able to get it. Now, I will, of course, have the score on screen as we go. Now, as always, what we're going to do is we're going to split you into your 4 sections. As I've said, I will display the score on screen. Now, I have a new piece of kit down here, thanks to Anna. I'm just going to pop this up here. So here is our score for today. And I've got my foot pedal now. Let's see if it's working. It is! Hooray! We did a thing. Excellent. So we have a working foot pedal. And so hopefully I won't be scrambling and playing. This also assumes that I'm coordinated enough to use all of this. So let's warm up very quickly first, folks. Then we'll learn this lovely piece. This is from the second act of Dido and Aeneas, almost exactly in the middle of the work. And then after this, of course, we have a deep dive. Don't forget that on Friday, we have Fun Friday. We're going to have a great time this week. And then Sunday will be the premiere of your performance of I Waited for the Lord, which is coming together very, very nicely here in the studio. So everyone, please, if you would be upstanding, if you would ascend for me, thank you very much indeed. Let's have a bit of an acoustic whilst we get warmed up. Actually, it's a perfect acoustic for this witch's chorus, set as it is in an enormous echoey cave. Hence, in our deep vaulted cell, Ted cell. All right, you'll know what I mean when we get there. Okay, a new gadget, says Ruth. Absolutely. Okay, so let's start off with a nice deep breath in and out. And again, please. And a sigh. Gloria says you'll need another speed pedal course, only if I change pages at more than 30 miles an hour, Gloria. So I think we'll be all right. Okay, rolling your shoulders around, please, everyone. And then rolling the back the other way. Thank you very much. Is it page 37 and 38? Sorry. Page 37 and 38. Okay, that's the right page. Oh, goodness me. Is it still wrong on the description? Let's have a look. Oh, no, it's right in the description. Okay, forget what I said. It's in the description, the right pages. And thank you again for Jenny. You get today's library monitor badge. Thank you ever so much. Okay, Mike, the score is in the description, but it will also be on the screen so you can follow it along. All right? Bring your shoulders up to your ears, please, everyone. Take a deep breath and let your shoulders fall. Just roll your head around a little bit. We're going to be witches, everyone. Okay? So let's start off. And it starts here, and we're going to go up a minor third and down again. We're going to go with me, and again, and lovely. Your turn, and your turn, lovely. Ya ya ya, great. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Excellent. Me, me, me. Lovely. Yo, yo, yo. Lovely. Ho, ho, ho. He, he, he. Ya, ya, ya. And ya, ya, ya. Splendid. Now, tenors and sopranos carry on up, altos and basses drop down the octave. After me, please. Ma, ma, ma. And, hang on. Ya, ya, ya. And, me, me, me. And, yo, yo, yo. Thank you, everyone. Well done. That's great. Now, let's have a look at our piece for today, which, as I say, is in our deep vaulted cell. Now, the score is here on screen. The score in the description is a full score. It's got all of the parts. I'll turn off that acoustic. It's got all of the parts, including the violins and so on. So what you're looking for is a chorus part. I believe it says on the score, pages 34 and 35. That may be inaccurate. Please refer to our comments here. Let's have a look. Right. 37 or 38. It's pages 39 and 40 on the PDF. Do you know what? If I were you, I'd just follow along on screen if you can. It's probably easier. Now, Glenys says, do I have to sing into a bucket to get the echo effect? If you like, Glenys, as long as you don't put the bucket entirely over your head, otherwise you're not going to be able to see the score. But, you know, your results may vary. Now, I'm going to start with the sopranos here. Now, before we do, this is a note for absolutely everyone. You'll see in the score on the screen here, and also as I teach it, we have some dynamics marked. And this is still quite rare at this point in history to have actual dynamics marked, because this is an echo chorus. These witches are collaborating and plotting and conspiring to overthrow Queen Dido. And I'll tell you more about that in the deep dive in a few minutes. And so they're in their deep vaulted cell. They're in a cave deep underground, a huge cavernous cave. And as they sing, in a deep vaulted cell, the charm we'll prepare. So each of the phrases is echoed at the end. It's a really lovely piece of writing, even though the sort of message behind it is rather unpleasant. So let's have a look here. We start with sopranos here. Quick sip of drink. Okay, so sopranos here. And bear in mind, this is all at baroque pitch, so it's all a semitone lower than written. Okay, so we get sopranos 1, 2, in a deep vaulted cell, Okay, sing with me, sopranos. From the beginning, 1, 2, in a deep vaulted cell. Quiet, cell. Lovely. We then sing loudly, the charm we'll prepare. With me, 1, 2, the charm we'll prepare. Lovely. We then sing, get my foot ready for the pedal. Too dreadful a practice, too dreadful a practice. Okay, let's go back. So too dreadful, 1, 2. Too dreadful a practice, too dreadful a practice. Excellent. And then too dreadful a practice, a practice. Just listen to that again. Too dreadful a practice. Okay, too dreadful, please. Ready? 1, 2. Too dreadful a practice, a practice. Lovely. And then for this open air, for this open air. So we sing that twice. From the for this open air after 2, 1, 2. For this open air, for this open air. Lovely. And then we sing, in a deep vaulted cell, Sing with me, 1, 2. In a deep vaulted cell, Excellent. And then the charm we'll prepare. From the charm, please. 1, 2. The charm we'll prepare. Excellent stops. And then too dreadful a practice. Too dreadful a practice. Okay, let's go from too dreadful. All right, the last note on the preceding line here. 1, 2. Too dreadful a practice. Too dreadful a practice. And then here, there is a misprint on the last couple of bars. It's supposed to be just a direct repeat. For this open air. For this open air. Okay. On this score, it's written incorrectly. It should just be a straight repeat, but quiet. All right. So let's sing that for this open air. Ready? 1, 2. For this open air. For this open air. There we are. Let's sing the whole soprano line from the beginning. How's everyone doing in the comments? Splendid. Good stuff. First day of retirement, Carol. That's absolutely fabulous. Well done. Congratulations. Hello to Fiona and Moirick. And lots of people talking about the opera choruses yesterday and the advice to pee pale. Speaking of which, have a drink of water. Fabulous. To stay hydrated so that your voice maintains its integrity. No, the advice my singing teacher gave was pee pale. She was an Australian soprano and she didn't mince her words. Right, from the beginning here, sopranos, in our deep vaulted cell. Here we go. Foot ready. 1, 2. In our deep vaulted cell, the charm will prepare to dreadful a practice, to dreadful a practice, to dreadful a practice, for this open air, in a deep vaulted cell, the charm will prepare to dreadful a practice, to dreadful a practice, for this open air, Lovely. Well done, Sops. There we are. Hello to Stephanie. How lovely to see you. I do hope you're very well. Thank you for joining us live today. Well, everyone, that's the soprano line. Let's now have a look at the alto line. Okay, same words, same rhythm, just different notes. Okay, and same again, as you can see, the dynamics and the echo applies the same to you. So, altos, we sing 1, 2. In a deep vaulted cell, with me, 1, 2. In a deep vaulted cell, Lovely. And then the charm will prepare with me, 1, 2. The charm will prepare. Lovely. Then to dreadful, we're going to the minor. To dreadful up. Oh, hang on. I got the foot right again. To dreadful up. No. So clicked on the wrong window. One more time. 1, 2. To dreadful practice. It stopped working. Dratted thing. This is why I don't like foot pedals. I'm just going back to good old buttons because they work. Right, too dreadful a practice altos, too dreadful a pedal. Ready? Nope, that's not right either. Move your comments over here so I can read them. Ready? 1, 2. Too dreadful a practice. Right, it's decided to work. 1, 2. Too dreadful a practice, too dreadful a practice. Now it's working, let's do it together. Ready? 1, 2. Too dreadful a practice, too dreadful a practice. Lovely, and then too dreadful a practice, a practice. Listen again. Okay, too dreadful. 1, 2. Too dreadful, a practice, a practice. Lovely. And then this is a really nice bit altos. This is what's known as a false relation, where we sing, for this open air, for this open air. Okay. And the reason it's called a false relation, I should be explaining in the deep dive, but basically, because you get the E flat before we get the E natural. It's a really, really nice effect. So from for this open air, 1, 2. For this open air, for this open air. Lovely. Then carrying on that E natural, it's 1, 2. In a deep vaulted cell, Sing with me. 1, 2. In a deep vaulted cell, Then the charm will prepare with me. 1, 2. The charm will prepare. Lovely. And then too dreadful a practice, too dreadful a practice. Sing for me. 1, 2. Too dreadful a practice, too dreadful a practice. And then you have a lovely line here as well, which interacts with the sopranos. You create a suspension and then what's called an anticipation. Some of you already know what that is, where we sing, for this open air, for this open air. Sing with me, just from the end here. 1, 2. For this open air, for this open air. It's a lovely moment. We get those two notes playing together. Okay, altos all the way through from the beginning. Now, is this pedal going to work? It's decided to work again. How lovely. So in our deep vaulted cell altos, there's your note sopranos, there's yours. Let's sing from the beginning. 1, 2. In a deep vaulted cell, the charm will prepare, prepare, to dreadful a practice, to dreadful a practice, to dreadful a practice, for this open air, for this open air, in a deep vaulted cell, the charm will prepare, prepare, to dreadful a practice, to dreadful a practice, for this open air, for this open air. There we are. Well done, altos. Great. How's everyone doing? Good, good, good. Thank you, Nikki. Patient. Very good. Very good. I'm impressed how long you waited before filling that in. Now, tenors. Let's have a look at your line. The thing I like about the tenor line is it's I think the most one of the more descriptive and more emotive. She's got some lovely wide leaps in this. Imagining the tall ceiling of this dark cave in which we're singing. All right. So tenors, we sing 1, 2. In a deep vaulted cell, cell. Sing with me, please. Let's have that acoustic on. 1, 2. In a deep vaulted cell, cell. Excellent. The charm will prepare, prepare. Listen again. Sing for me the charm. 1, 2. The charm will prepare, prepare. Very nice indeed. And then, to dreadful a practice, to dreadful a practice. Lovely. Let's go back. So, too dreadful. 1, 2. Too dreadful a practice, too dreadful a practice. Very nice. Just notice, it's not a direct copy, okay? Not a direct echo. First of all, and then we start on the G. Just be ready for that. And then, too dreadful, too dreadful. Hang on. I got that wrong. Too dreadful, a practice, a practice. So let's listen to that. Okay, again, not a direct copy. We'll let him off because it's so lovely. From Too Dreadful, 1, 2. Too dreadful, a practice, a practice. I think as they're witches, they're allowed to have their echo singing slightly different notes. And then, for this open air, for this open air. There is that false relation, and it's lovely. Let's sing it together for this. 1, 2. For this open air, for this open air. Lovely. And then, in a deep vaulted cell, cell. Sing for me. 1, 2. In a deep vaulted cell, cell. Lovely. We then sing, the charm will prepare, prepare. Listen again. Lovely. Sing for me the charm, tenors. 1, 2. The charm will prepare, prepare. Lovely. Over the page. Too dreadful a practice, too dreadful a practice. Sing for me too dreadful. Ready? 1, 2. Too dreadful a practice, too dreadful a practice. And then for this open air, for this open air. Let's just have that last bit. 1, 2. For this open air, for this open air. There we are. Wonderful. Thank you, tenors. From the beginning. How's everyone doing? Splendid. Alison's talking about when she performed this Dido and Aeneas wore matching bedspreads. Love it. Okay, here we go. Tenors, there's your notes. I'll turn this up just a little bit. It's rather quiet harpsichord. So sopranos, altos, tenors, basses will be with you in just a minute. Ready? 1, 2. In a deep vaulted cell, the charm will prepare, prepare. Too dreadful a practice, too dreadful a practice, too dreadful a practice, for this open air, for this open air, in a deep vaulted cell, the charm will prepare, prepare. Too dreadful a practice, too dreadful a practice, for this open air, for this open air. Brilliant. Well done, everyone. Thank you, tenors. So last but not least, bassos. Now, you'll have heard actually quite a lot of the bass line because it's the bass line of the entire piece, of course. Now we sing, in our deep, E naturals, England. 1, 2. In our deep vaulted cell, with me basses. 1, 2. In our deep vaulted cell, and then the charm will prepare, prepare. Now there we stay on the same note. It's written as a full as a note here, but sing prepare because it's an echo. Okay, so the charm. 1, 2. The charm will prepare, same note, prepare. Lovely. Then we go up the octave. Too dreadful a practice. Now there's a misprint. It should be a C. Okay, it's written too dreadful a practice. That's wrong. Too dreadful a practice. Sing with me, please, basses. 1, 2. Too dreadful a practice. Sorry. Oh, for heaven's sake. This is why I don't like the pedal. Back. No. Oh, my goodness me. That's frustrating. Let's go back. Right. Too dreadful a pedal. Ready? 1, 2. Too dreadful a practice. Too dreadful a practice. Excellent. I will get better at this. And then, too dreadful a practice, a practice. Listen. Okay, let's sing together basses. 1, 2. Too dreadful a practice, a practice. And then, for this open air, for this open air. Sing with me. 1, 2. For this open air, for this open air. Lovely. In a deep vaulted cell, Sing with me. 1, 2. In a deep vaulted cell, then it goes nice and low. The charm will prepare, prepare. with me. 1, 2, the charm we'll prepare, prepare. Then the same note. Too dreadful a practice, too dreadful a practice. Okay, too dreadful. 1, 2, too dreadful a practice, too dreadful a practice. For this open air, for this open air. Let's sing that together, basses, shall we? 1, 2, for this open air, for this open air. Wonderful. Let's do the bass line all the way through, please, everyone. In our deep vaulted cell. Here we go. Well, here's everyone else's notes. There's the tenors, altos, and sopranos, and we'll sing it in just a minute. Ready? 1, 2. In our deep vaulted cell, the charm we'll prepare, prepare. Too dreadful a practice, too dreadful a practice, too dreadful, too dreadful a practice, for this open air, for this open air. In our deep vaulted cell, the charm we'll prepare, prepare. Too dreadful a practice, too dreadful a practice, for this open air, for this open air. Well done, everyone. Now, it's only a minute long, and Deep Dive doesn't start until 25 to, so why don't we give ourselves a treat today and sing it twice? It's such a lovely piece. We'll have an echo of the echo chorus. And no, it's not an encore, those of you who've been watching Donald Palumbo. We'll just sing it twice and enjoy ourselves. So you'll get your notes from the organ. The score will proceed without me having to use this blasted pedal. Have a sip of drink, please, everyone, and do enjoy. Hope everyone's okay. Splendid. Oh, thanks. Thank you, Carolyn. Right, here we go. Here's In Our Deep Vaulted Cell. There you go, folks. Isn't that lovely? It's honestly one of my favourite opera choruses ever. Just the so many of Purcell's signature touches, which we'll be talking about in just a few moments. False relations, anticipations, suspensions, drama, word painting, the lot, all in a minute. So let's have it just one more time, and then we'll jump over to the other channel and we'll have a bit of a deep dive, those of you that can join us. But well done. Hope you enjoyed learning it. Let's have it one more time. Here we go. And...
Practice.
Well done, everyone. Isn't that just such a lovely piece of music? And if you enjoyed that, well, do please come and join me in 5 minutes' time at our deep dive. I'm going to be using a wonderful recording, which is my absolute favourite. I'll tell you all about it. It's available on all streaming services, even on YouTube, which is where I got these particular files from. So you'll be able to hear how this should all sound when played by the very best professionals, and also find out some of the history and some of the harmony about this wonderful opera. So do join me in a few minutes. Don't forget, we're back singing again on Friday with our Fun Friday. Lots and lots of fun. And Sunday, of course, your version of I Waited for the Lord, which was recorded in our Sing and Send sessions. But thanks ever so much for coming along today, everyone, and I'll see you in a few minutes. Bye-bye.